All right, I guess we're live. Good morning and welcome to the NBA Daily. I'm Dave DuFour. This is Zena Keita.
Oh, I don't know why
I'm Baraheni. Andrew Schlecht. Guys, we just saw the Oklahoma City Thunder get dealt their second loss of the season, thanks to Victor Wembanyama coming off the bench for the Spurs. Although they've been good without him, they were amazing with him. Andrew, I think I'm going to start with you because you went to the losing locker room after the game. All right, these guys wanted to win the cup. You told us.
Absolutely, they wanted to win the cup. Absolutely.
But they're not tournament tough. How did they feel about it after the game?
I guess Vegas is the kryptonite of the Thunder.
Really? Move the finals here.
You want to destroy the Thunder, move the finals to Las Vegas. Yeah, the Thunder, the mood was very light in the locker room. They were joking around once we walked in there.
It's not surprising. Yeah, as expected.
They lost 2 games. It's certainly an unfamiliar feeling this season for them. But the constant message from the players, from Ihart to Chet to Case and Wallace, who we talked to after the game, was that they did not execute well.
Right.
That they felt like after they kind of got that big lead, that defensively, that they didn't execute well enough. They weren't physical. I mean, I think they got punched in the mouth.
Absolutely.
By the Spurs.
Yeah.
And they were not good enough tonight.
We were talking during the game. All right. How many times this year have we seen OKC look the way that they looked at the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth? I think I can mark twice. It was the Portland game that they lost. Yeah. They blew the 20-point lead. Mm-hmm. And then the other night against Phoenix, where it felt like, what is happening here with the Suns?
Yeah.
And some of this, I wonder, like, it could just be, look, this is a basketball team. They're not going to go undefeated, right? But also, there's got to be a little bit of a fatigue factor here. They've played so many games already. Like, we know how condensed the schedule has been for everyone around the league. And when you have to win every game the way that they're playing, like, teams are ready for them. They're the champs. They're getting everyone's best effort every night. I mean, Victor Wembanyama came back because it's the Thunder and it's the Cup, right? Yeah. So he respects the Cup, but they really respect the Thunder is really what it is. Yeah. This is who they want to be. I liked the way that the Spurs looked against them. I think it's a good matchup for the Spurs. And Zena, like, they have the guards that can really bother the Thunder up top.
Absolutely. I mean, to your point, first and foremost, of how OKC has to play consistently, even Victor Wembanyama called it out in terms of the Spurs haven't had the opportunity to win and enjoy winning consistently in the way that OKC has. And he talked about the fact that OKC plays the same way, whether they're going up against the number 2, going up against someone in the NBA Cup, or they're going up against the 15th seed. And I thought that was a lot of respect from him on that note. And why they could be potentially fatigued. But when you talk about the way that the guard rotation for the Spurs came out and challenged them, I don't think I've ever seen Shea get blocked the way he was by Devin Vassell in the mid-range. Yeah. It was clean. It was great. But that was just one example of how they were pressuring up. There was, I believe, a clip by Iman Shumpert talking about how OKC does such a good job of setting the tone physically that it makes referees go, okay, that's just how they play.
They raised it to foul level, right?
And you saw the Spurs match that energy. And it's funny you talk about being punched in the mouth. Stephon Castle, like he got literally at the end of the game, nose plugged up, bloody lip. Like it was a battle out here.
Yeah. Chet's mouth was messed up too. I mean, it got pretty physical.
It did. Yeah.
Well, this is a rivalry. And I think that when you look at the Spurs and you listen to Victor Wembanyama in the postgame, which, by the way, all right, I might be in love with Victor Wembanyama. Okay, I'm just going to admit it. The guy has perfect answers in this press conference.
Give us a taste of that.
One of the things that he mentioned was how nice it is to be on a team like the Spurs that plays ethical hoops. And I can't help but think that that's a shot at the Thunder.
Yeah, it absolutely.
And the Thunder are where this Spurs team wanted to be.
Yeah. No, look, it's one of those things where he knows,
so goofy.
He understands the messaging, and he was like, look, it's so great. The question was, hey, are you happy to be back against the Oklahoma City Thunder? Was it like an extra little bit, the fact that you're playing against them? He's like, it's just great to be back, but it's also good to be playing pure, ethical basketball. Ooh, that is intended.
Wemby's part of the problem now.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Look, I mean, I think that is an incredible answer. He had a lot of great answers.
Yeah. Again, if you are a fan of the Spurs, definitely go and watch this interview because I think it's pretty telling. And then the other guys, De'Aaron Fox talked about this. Victor Wembanyama, that guy's a gamer, and he wants to play. right?
Yeah.
Like this is, and I know that we exist in this
Sixth man of the year.
this league that the Stars sometimes feel like they don't play. And he's apparently been just chomping at the bit, hoping for a chance to be able to be healthy and come back. And it showed. I mean, the intensity that he had, the first possession of the game. I mean, he comes in and he immediately gets an offensive rebound. Actually, first 36 seconds or so, he has 2 offensive rebounds, a defensive rebound, a putback, and an assist.
Yeah.
And you're just saying, okay, well, that guy has solved basketball again. But the Spurs, they got the lead late in this game with him on the bench.
Yeah.
And the way that they staggered his minutes, he was there for the close. And I just felt like with about 2.5 minutes left, it felt like the Spurs were going to win the game.
I think they've found a recipe to win without him too. Not that they will be able to do it consistently, but in minutes, in spurts, they're able to get offense. Like you saw it in their stretch without him over the first 12 games that he was out, 9-3.
Yeah.
Offensively, they figured out what they could do. Devin Vassell shooting the ball very, very well. Harrison Barnes knocking down his threes, but also on top of that, Steph Castle getting to the rim. De'Aaron Fox getting to the rim.
Hit-ahead passes
have been huge for them. Running in transition, being physical. It was fun because Steph Castle post-game talked about how defense is non-negotiable for them.
Right.
Aggression defensively is non-negotiable for them. For them to use that to get out in transition, run offensively. I mean, this team is finding an identity without Wemby too.
Let me ask you this. How many teams can you count on one hand? It's going to be one hand that can get that many paint touches from guards on penetration against the Thunder. This is, again,
by the way, the answer is the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's the other team because it's SGA who's the best of that.
That's what I want to ask you, Andrew. Like, even coming into this game, I already knew I was up, and just their speed, all the Slash brothers, and of course the Slash brothers has been this maybe Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, maybe De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, and Dylan Harper. Now you got to add in Devin Vassell with that mix. But going into this game, I was like, this is going to be such a great matchup because of this guard play and the defensive aspect of these games. But like, what do you feel like it felt like for OKC to kind of look in the mirror tonight and get to play against the Spurs?
Yeah, they hadn't really played against a team that was this competitive.
Yeah,
and that has this much size on the wing.
Yes.
I think that was a huge part of it, is that there's so many disruptors throughout the Spurs roster that they weren't quite ready for it.
Yeah.
And so I think that once they got up 16, I feel like maybe they took their foot off the gas a little bit. Like the attention to detail wasn't quite there. They thought that they were in a similar feel to most games. Right. They were just going to kind of coast to another win. And the Spurs, once Wemby got in the game, it was life.
Yes.
For them.
What did you say in the stands?
Exact same
palpable difference.
It was a palpable now I can't talk. It was a palpable difference in the arena.
Right.
It was a majority Spurs crowd.
Yeah.
I would say probably
rodeos in town. In case you guys didn't know that.
Yeah.
We like rodeos too. All right.
I was about to say Oklahoma does the rodeo stuff too.
The Spurs, I mean, the Spurs fans traveled and they were loud.
They were really loud.
There was like Manu Ginobili jersey in the crowd here. I mean, there was a guy with the Coyote hat. I mean, the Spurs were here.
There was actually a picture of, to your point about Slash Brothers, Steph Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and Dylan Harper in the Step Brothers picture.
Oh,
the classic Step Brothers.
Somebody
picture.
like
guys,
homemade.
they were. Everyone was clearly here to see the new Spurs mascot, Sarah V.
Oh,
what was that?
Yeah, what was that?
Sarah V is a lotion.
Sarah V is a lotion
right,
brand.
They have a
they have like a
I don't know why they're
mascot
having
now
going
called
on.
Sarah V. And I don't know if it's spelled like Sarah that we know or like the brand.
It's
C.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's
the C.
They made this mascot play defense, and I really thought we were going to see a mascot tear their Achilles. Like injuries are way up this year, and your star mascot going down would just be
I'm
awful.
sorry to derail us.
No,
it's okay.
All right. Speaking of derailing, I do want to derail us just a little bit because this game was awesome. It was a great game.
Yeah.
Wait, before we get to that,
Oh, sorry.
I just really want to quickly say it was interesting to hear of the Slash brothers. In post game, I asked Devin Vassell, like, what does practice look like for you guys to be pushing each other this way, et cetera? He was like, what's funny that you mentioned is that we haven't practiced together. The four of them had not practiced together yet.
They haven't been healthy.
They haven't been
First
healthy
game
yet.
that they've all been healthy.
That's crazy to
And
think about that.
OKC also.
No, they were missing Isaiah
They're
Joe.
still missing Isaiah Joe.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
would have made
fully
the
healthy.
difference.
It would have made it. I mean,
Yeah,
Two
shooting would have
threes,
helped.
every single player on the Thunder might be a star, so maybe it makes a difference.
Can I actually ask you this? So J-Dub hasn't been All-NBA J-Dub yet, which is fine because the hand and everything, like he's still getting back up to shape.
Yeah.
I thought he struggled tonight, especially against the length.
Shot.
You talked about the
100%.
wings. What did he say post game if he talked?
I didn't talk to him post game, but his wrist is still obviously bothering him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like his handle
Well, you
is
see him during games. He's wrapping it a lot. He's laying on it.
He had ice on it after the game. I mean, there was a point here at the end of the game. He is just grabbing onto it and kind of bending over, and like he's hurting still.
Mhm.
And it's his handle, it's his finishing, it's his shooting. He did make a really big three.
Right. Yeah.
That if the Thunder did win, we'd probably be talking about that three right now.
Yep.
But he is struggling for sure.
Yeah.
Like he's not really close to what he was last year, and it's just going to take time.
I was gonna say, I
You
think
know?
that's part of this whole like next little phase for OKC next few weeks.
Yeah.
Is getting him up and going because
Yeah.
they need him so much
They're
offense.
24-2.
Yeah.
They get
They're
to
okay.
just kind of do
They're
whatever
okay.
they want.
They're fine.
If they
They'll be okay.
lose half their games, they're still probably the 1 seed.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible what they're doing. Although I do think that the Nuggets are getting overlooked. All right, but let me derail us real quick because as good as this game was, again, the finish was awful.
Mm.
Awful.
Yeah. It took forever.
There's too many fouls. I'm tired of watching into games come down to a free throw contest, and the league has to do something because the watchability is awful.
Yeah.
I don't get to see teams attempt threes even to tie the game up
Yep.
Yeah.
because of strategy. I understand. Listen, I'm a basketball coach. And I get it. You want to win the game, and I'm not even knocking the teams for doing it. Although the Spurs,
Even Mitch Johnson said this
Greg
was the first
Popovich
time,
was
yeah.
anti-fouling up three, ethical hoops. Is fouling up three ethical? I don't know, Mitch. We got to find this out. Ask Vic. But something has to be done from the league because it's taking away from the excitement of the games. This is an entertainment product no matter what.
Yeah.
And also, how about like it's not competitive? Not just is it not fun to watch, it's a little anti-competitive.
Well-
It's like winning on administration.
The thing that is competitive is to foul.
Yes, I understand.
So-
It's to win,
but
but I mean it's
But
anti.
what? Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
Yes.
It's anti like game.
It's anti-fun.
But it's definitely the competitive thing to do,
Right.
which all the competitive things should flow back into the game and not against it.
That's right.
So I do think that both these coaches are uber competitive
100%.
and they know exactly what they need to do. But it would be great if the league did take that away. Because how much fun would it have been if it's Thunder are
look,
down
yeah.
3,
Yeah.
we
You
come
get
up,
an opportunity.
It's
Yeah.
five.
Even
it's,
that
it's what we
one
all
that
do.
Jada Williams,
5-4-3-2-1.
Jada put up a three, and we
Yeah.
were all like, but the foul had happened, and it just.
When we were talking about the
Yeah.
strategy
Look,
on this, you almost have to do. It's got to be a catch and
The
shoot.
league has done
immediately.
this though,
Yeah.
with transition take fouls, right?
Yeah.
They took that away because they
They did.
realized, hey, we're not getting as many fast break opportunities. We're not getting as many
Yeah.
dunks.
Mhm.
Yep.
Old teams are just fouling
Yeah.
to get away with this.
Yeah.
You need to be able to legislate that.
I think
This
that's
is
going to
easy way
come.
to do it.
It'd be cool.
This is the only issue that we've got right now. I think that's pressing for the NBA as far as like the presentation is the end of games.
Yeah.
Between the fact that it just has no respect for my time, 20 minutes to finish the last minute of a game is
Dave,
awful.
this is not about you though.
Well, I
No.
understand.
According to Dave, there is going to be a meeting tomorrow with the NBA.
I'm going to talk to them about this.
The top of the letterhead
Let's
is
go.
Dave DuFour's time is being wasted. Okay.
It is the fans' time.
It
though.
is the fans.
And it is like if you're trying to introduce somebody to the game,
Mhm.
you're like, hey, watch the end of this crazy game. And it's like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
wait, what?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Imagine saying, hey, it's a 3-point game. Tune in for free
It's-
throws.
Yeah.
The games are crazy at the end, but it's like somebody making a tuna and peanut butter sandwich crazy, right? There's no way that's good.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's
It
so
might be.
disgusting.
It's not fun to watch the free throw contest. Anyway, the
Yeah.
game itself was amazing. The end was just
Yes.
rough, but this is it's
Tune in for mathematic strategy at the end of
That's
the
right.
game. It's like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it
Hey,
turns
well, the
into.
finer
the best
points
way
of
to put it.
coaching is kind of what you get. Like you have, we're all doing this all the time, so I can tell you, oh, this is the right strategy. But if it's things to watch, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
right? Because this is a television show, and so they already changed the rules. They change the rules all the time. Excuse me. They don't call travels. They don't call carries. They don't call moving screens. Just create a rule for this. Like
Yeah.
like it's very easy. And I
People
think
get
that'll
very
happen.
opinionated about this, but I think it's simple to change too.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
simple way to adjust this. Under 24
Yeah.
seconds, make it so that it's a transition take foul. Or
Yeah.
flagrant
Yeah.
foul. 2+ ball.
I do want to spin it back to the Spurs,
Yes.
who were awesome tonight. And if before the game you were to place a bet, perhaps with our betting partners, BetMGM,
There you go.
about if a team is going to have 4 players that are going to have 20 points or more, which team is it going to be?
You definitely would have thought Thunder.
OKC.
Yeah.
You would have picked the Thunder
You would've
pretty
picked
easily.
the Thunder.
Okay, so
But that's part of what San Antonio's done the last couple of weeks. Too.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
like
true.
I said, Steph Castle, Devin, like they just did this exact same thing against the
They
Lakers.
did
Yeah.
the Lakers.
Yeah.
all right, fast forward. We're April, May.
April, May.
These two teams meet in the playoffs.
Give me a
Mhm.
playoff series.
How
man.
scared would the Thunder be? Like, I mean, they're not going to admit it, but that's got to be a scary team to face.
Yeah, I mean, I think Victor Wembanyama is a matchup nightmare for every single team.
Yeah.
And Alex Caruso did a pretty good job,
Yeah.
possession to possession,
Yeah.
on him. But
nice poke outs, nice block.
they've got some work to do,
Yeah.
and this is good for the Thunder
Sure.
to taste their own blood at this point in the season.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're not a perfect team.
No.
There's no perfect team.
Right.
They have played and looked like one, but you're just masquerading as a perfect team. Like they have work to do.
Yeah.
And so I think it's good, and they have a little bit of time off. They get to go home. They do play the Clippers on Wednesday. That game was going to be flexed if they made the final.
Right.
Now it's not flexed. It is going to stay on that Wednesday.
Is that a home?
And so it is home,
Yeah.
against the Clippers. And so they'll get time to practice. They'll get time to watch film. They actually get to like taste the sting of a loss
Mhm.
for 7 days, which I think is really good, like competitively for a team like this. So
They're going to roll off like another 15-game winning streak.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably will.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this.
Let's not forget they do
They do
play the Spurs
Twice.
23rd and on Christmas Day.
That's right.
Back to back.
Wow. Ooh, Christmas Day will be great.
This is the question
that'll be
I have
great.
for everybody. How far do we think a Spurs team like this goes? Because OKC is a fun playoff
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
That's interesting, cool. I like it. But how far do you think they can?
Health. Everyone's healthy.
Yeah, fully healthy.
Yeah, we're
what we saw
saying.
tonight. Yeah.
I got
Second
a hot
round.
Can they get to the
Second
second round?
round.
Okay.
Oh,
Second
yeah.
round.
Okay. What do you got?
This team could make the finals.
Wow.
the finals.
I think so.
Wow.
Listen, I'm not putting anything out of the realm of possibility for Victor Wembanyama.
That's a good point.
Nothing.
That's a
The
good point.
guy was plus 21 in 20. I mean, he was by far the best player on the court tonight.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
And we
He did.
this is his first game. He's on
Yeah.
a minutes restriction. He was rusty.
Yeah.
Clearly rusty.
Yeah.
Didn't know where to be sometimes.
Mitch Johnson said he was rushed.
Yeah.
for
And
a
he was
lot of-
out of wind. Like, the
Mhm.
guy was wrecked.
Yeah.
From a cardiovascular standpoint. This team, I don't know, man. Like as good as the Thunder are, and they proved it.
Yeah.
The Spurs haven't proven anything. They haven't won anything at all.
Yeah.
This will be their first playoff run. But there's so much talent, and the NBA is so funny about this. Like it can happen in a
It's
way
true.
that feels overnight.
I think that Victor Wembanyama has definitely entered the stratosphere in which the way that the Warriors say, if we've got Steph, you can't count us out. The way that any team
Yeah.
that has LeBron says, if we've got LeBron, you can't count us out. I absolutely think that Victor Wembanyama has moved into that
Through
stratosphere.
Wemby, all things
Yeah.
are possible,
Yeah.
maybe on
Yeah.
a basketball court.
I do also think that the playoffs are so different
Mhm.
than any other setting.
100%.
And right now, like the Spurs probably feel like they've got 11 or 12 guys.
Mhm.
When you get to the playoffs,
Yeah,
They got
it doesn't
seven.
matter,
that up.
it doesn't matter what your roster is,
Right.
Yeah.
you've got 7.
Also,
it.
imagine
You guys
you
know.
have to go and play this OKC team in 2 more days. Right?
Yeah.
That's what the playoffs is.
Yeah.
A team that knows what you're going to do, adjustments.
A team that has made adjustments, a team that did win the title. I just think that I'm probably closer to where Zena is. I think they can win a playoff
Mhm.
round, but it is really tough if you haven't been there.
Oh,
if you've
yeah.
not
Yeah.
been through
Well,
it,
this was our thing last year with
It's really
OKC,
tough.
right? It was they haven't done it before.
they had already lost in the playoffs
Right.
once.
And that's with this team.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just
And
think from a
that's what I
talent
think that the
perspective,
Spurs
Guys, this
need to do.
was
The
yeah.
biggest thing the only reason I'm like second round is because as great as the Slash Bros, that whole
Mhm.
cohort was,
Mhm.
the turnovers are a real thing.
yeah,
Right? Like
Yeah.
Stephon Castle is still finding his way in terms of how do you impact the game quickly but not in a rush.
Yep.
And he can get to the rim, we can get all that stuff done. It's just if you've got someone scouting him and you've got a veteran guard defender on him, they can get in his head, I think, and there's possibilities there. And you saw the same thing with Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper had some turnovers as well. So I just think that in a circumstance like, who would they match up with? Like if they matched up against Denver or someone, with someone that's just got a little bit more veteranship, that's been there before, that knows how to disrupt in a way that's not necessarily just aggression. It's just like, we know this guy likes to jump pass. Right? We saw how many times we saw
this is a
7-game
finals team.
series.
I don't think this is a finals team today, right?
Yeah.
But
Sure. By the
I
time,
can't put a ceiling on what they're doing. Over
the
course
second half of the
I'll
year
tell you
could be
this.
crazy.
Like, how
for
is
they
Harper.
are
played 15
building
games.
they are building a team that will get the respect of the Oklahoma City. I think they already
I
have
think
the respect
this
of the
is the
Oklahoma
next
City Thunder.
100%.
7
this
years
is-
of the NBA.
Exactly.
These two teams.
This
Yeah.
rivalry is what we're going to see for the Western Conference for the next
Ooh.
5 years.
Yeah.
Unless they trade Victor Wembanyama in the middle of the night to the Lakers, then
For Anthony Davis.
because we thought the same thing about the
true.
Dallas Mavericks. But I
Yeah.
do think you're right.
Good point.
I think that this is going to be like the rivalry, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
In the Western Conference, this is a great preview of it.
It's a mirror. Look how many. I mean, just think about it. All we said last year was just like, oh, the treasure trove of guards, the treasure trove of talent. I'm looking at the Spurs bench, and Carter Bryant just sitting there, salivating,
Yeah.
wanting to get in. Like, you know what I mean?
Go
There's so much talent that hasn't even been unlocked on that bench.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Jeremy Sohan's getting D&T.
Jeremy Sohan, like,
Okay, rightfully. He's just.
All right.
He's a big
I know
Can I
he's
take
got
a second,
Sohan
can I
guy.
take
I
a
like
second
him.
to also just give love to Luke Cornett?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, he's great.
you talk about like people that impose their will out on the floor. Luke Cornett is not somebody that I'm necessarily like feeling like I'm going to be intimidated by, but he does that somehow.
Right.
Like, he does set a tone of, you're not going to come in here easily.
Yeah.
Right. You're not going to make sure, you're not going to get by my guys and then get by me easily. And I just think that when you have Victor still working on getting his breath back out on the floor, having him out there and not being a complete open door to the basket is huge.
It's the Spurs dad.
Credit
great.
to the
1000%.
Spurs
Great to
front
have.
office, because the way that they built in the summer,
Yeah.
knowing they wanted to be competitive, was one, double big lineups with Luke Cornett.
Yep.
Shout out French Vanilla. The other what? That's their nickname.
It's true.
They
It's
have
true.
a lot of
They've got
nicknames.
really good ones.
The ball handling. We need extra ball handling. The three guards
sticking
work
with De'Aaron
incredibly
Fox,
well.
which
Yes.
a lot of people said, hey, maybe they should flip Fox because they got Dylan Harper. I've never heard a team complain that they have too many guys that can get to the paint.
No.
Off the dribble.
I mean, to
Fox
your
is
point about
awesome,
like
too.
how far this team can go, what
Other
are the
than the
components?
leadership.
What is the thing that they lack other than experience?
It's experience is the biggest thing, and then I mean they've got to shoot the ball really well,
Yeah.
right? Like this come playoff time, like they've got to be super consistent shooting the ball. This is why Champagne gets so much run with these guys. Consistent shooter.
Yeah.
Devin
He
Vassell.
struggled tonight from
Devin
the three.
Vassell was
Well,
great.
and Zena brought this up a few nights ago on the show where she talked about how Dylan Harper coming back, it puts Vassell in this interesting position. Tonight, though, I think we saw this is why Vassell is going to get so much run. Number one, he's going to take every three that comes to him. Number two, the defensive intensity.
He became a 3-and-D.
Exactly.
He became a 3-and-D solid guy, and that's interesting because I would have put Devin Vassell in the 3-and-D category, but that is how you get minutes. You stay on the floor, and he played well.
Defense, man. All the guys can guard.
I'm going to derail the show. It's a live stream. Who cares? Josh Robbins has just joined us on the court, and he's going to take a photo. But I'm going to try to get Josh into the show as we move on to talk about the early game, which was not as exciting as the game in the evening. Josh Robbins, star of the NBA Daily. Welcome to the show, to the live stream.
We're live.
We are live.
Okay.
Welcome. So we're happy you buttoned up. There you go. Get ready. Right.
Can't show the credential.
That's right.
There you go.
So the Magic, I'm assuming the plane's already left. They're on their way back home.
They must be. They must be somewhere over Colorado now.
Maybe. I don't know when they left.
What
did
you by any chance get any sort of update on Jalen Suggs, because he did leave with an injury?
I did, and I can just tell you that he struggled to even rise from his chair in the post-game locker room after he got showered and dressed. A teammate had to help him up. He was that sore. He was that stiff, which is not to say he has a severe structural injury, but he took some really hard falls.
Yeah. That one where he landed on his back and he laid there for a minute. I thought it was a back thing, but then he got up and he was kind of working at his leg.
It was his hip with about 35 seconds left in the second quarter, and then he collided with Karl Anthony Towns right over on that end midway through the third quarter. And hey, I'm probably irresponsible to make a guess, but it looked like kind of a hip pointer.
Yeah.
A severe hip contusion.
It's worth saying he also had 26 points at that point.
He was awesome.
7 assists.
He had a great first half. Right?
Unbelievable performance out of Jalen Suggs. Yeah.
And he just could not move. He was already limited heading into this because he hurt his groin
Yeah.
last Sunday against the Knicks, coincidentally, at MSG. And he just could not stick with Jalen Brunson tonight because of that. And it, it hurt his spirit that he wasn't at his best.
So what'd you think of the game overall? I mean, obviously, Knicks kind of took things away in the second half. Jalen Brunson was awesome.
Yep.
It felt like the Magic had something going in the first half with their pace and how they were playing with their guard play. What were your impressions of the game overall?
For the first, 8 minutes or so, their offense never looked better.
Yeah.
But it was fool's gold.
Mm-hmm.
That's a team that's predicated on its defense. And when the going gets tough and the game slows down, that's not when they're at their best, at least not at this stage of the development.
Yeah.
They need to get stops. They need to get turnovers. They got neither of those for the most part tonight. And the Knicks look like a sharp team, like a razor sharp cut glass.
Incredible.
I don't think
offense.
either team played much defense in this game.
Really quickly, I'm going to interrupt and be the TV person here.
Yeah,
the score was 132 to 120.
There we go.
New York Knicks
Thank you
won.
very much.
That's
Thank
very
you very
important.
much.
And Jalen Brunson was able to drop 40 points
Brunson had 40.
of that 132.
Shout out to
Significant.
TV,
just, we haven't mentioned the score yet.
You're
We went
right,
right into Jalen.
Someone has to be professional around here.
I
Luckily,
tried.
we have Zena for that.
I tried. But keep going. Sorry, you're making it-
So, this game, I felt like there was a lot of intensity. Maybe it's because they just played a couple days ago. Maybe it's because Desmond Bain
threw that ball.
was playing dodgeball with OG Anunoby. I don't know, but it did feel like there's a little bit of maybe it's animosity or maybe it's just really intense competition between these two teams. But is this something where like Orlando, they look at this as like a measuring stick game and they got handled. Like, how do you think they feel coming out of this?
Well, they're not happy.
Well,
They're not happy. They feel like this was something that they can learn from. However, the lesson should have been clear to them from the beginning. The lesson is they're a defensive team. They didn't play much defense.
Yeah.
However, Jalen Suggs, their best perimeter defender, hurt.
Right.
Mhm.
Anthony Black, 2 early fouls, which their coach called touch fouls.
Right.
And Jamal Mosley said that took away a lot of their physicality, and it showed the whole game long.
Yeah.
And they're without Franz Wagner, who's maybe their most versatile defender.
Yeah.
Right.
And their best driver. And they missed him badly. They
Right.
missed him badly.
I mean, Suggs was able to get out in transition. That was where they had their best success offensively, was just trying to basically just
Anthony
run the
Black,
Knicks
too.
down.
Yeah.
But the problem was they were giving it up the same way on the other end.
There was no perimeter defense. And then the backdoor cuts were killing them.
Yes.
New York Knicks just kept finding ways to get backdoor.
Little loop cuts.
The loop cuts, exactly. And it wouldn't be so bad if you had someone in the back line of that defense.
Yeah.
But
I'm actually very excited for Knicks Spurs, by the way, as sort of a segue to this.
Amazing,
Think of the offensive firepower of the Knicks and what we just saw the Spurs do defensively to the Thunder. That seems like a nice head-on collision for the finals, especially because the Knicks look even better offensively than they did last year. I think the pace that they play at, we talked about the pace earlier.
Well, Mikal Bridges
Balls
looks like
in
he
there.
knows what he's doing.
they're
Like,
running drills coming up the court.
Yeah.
Like,
well, there was one possession where they had it was 2 passes and a layup.
that's what I'm saying.
Right? Off a turnover. 2 passes and a layup, which I don't know if the Knicks did that 5 times last season.
Mm.
A lot of ISO ball last year. And look, they have 2 of the best isolation guys in Cat and Jalen Brunson. But now it's, hey, we're moving the rock a little bit more.
Mhm.
We're pushing in transition. And at the same time, we're those little backdoor cuts that they could find.
Right.
That's another source of offense. For
But
them.
you see the Knicks all the time. You cover.
You've seen them a
multiple
lot,
teams
actually,
for us.
because
Like,
the Orlando.
Yeah.
Feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Where do you put them in the Eastern Conference? Like, are they the best team that you've seen in the East so far?
I think they are the best team in the East. I regard Detroit very highly with how hard they play.
Right.
I don't think they have the depth or the overall offensive firepower to compete with the Knicks.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're not who they can be.
We have questions as well.
But you saw tonight, and we've seen over the last week, that OG Anunoby, when he's playing and he's healthy,
Oh, yeah.
he transforms that Knicks team.
Absolutely.
Most underrated defender in the league. Well, not within the league.
And
He's
also
not
maybe a
underrated.
corner three-point shooter as
Huge.
well.
Yeah.
Huge.
So true. One of the most underrated players in the league, period.
I would, I mean, the rim protection that he provides is what allows the Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson pairing to tread water defensively.
Yes.
Because what we saw in this game, I mean, now to a certain degree, I think Orlando took themselves out of their offensive rhythm by attacking Jalen Brunson so much. This happens a lot. I mean, you saw this. I mean, you might remember like the Wizards used to do this when they would go against the Boston Celtics when they had Isaiah Thomas all the time. Bradley Beal and John Wall would just disrupt everything to try to post this guy up. I personally, and I know it is a league where you're going to find the guy and you're going to pick on him and you're going to try to go at him. But with OG Anunoby out there, the Knicks actually now have the personnel that they can scram switch. They can get behind and have the help come. And I think that Orlando would have been better served to just play their game and try to figure out the mismatches as they came along through the flow of the offense. That's my feedback on
OG Anunoby, whack-a-mole, man.
He really is.
With defense, he plugs so many holes. He's like that one duct tape meme you
Flex
guys
Seal.
the Flex Seal. That's what he does.
I tried Flex Seal on the plumbing
Does
in
it
my
work?
condo. Not for me, it doesn't.
Yeah, definitely not.
Man.
I tried it
For me,
too.
it
It didn't
Well,
work.
we just lost our Flex Seal
All right.
sponsorship.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joshua.
Well, I got to be honest. And by the way, the fumes on that stuff is
It's
God.
probably
Mhm.
toxic.
Oh, God.
it had me concerned. It's a carcinogen, I think. All right, now we're going to get into trouble.
Well,
That wasn't the
Now we're
intention.
liable of Flex Seal.
Well, there is a warning, I think, on the can.
Well, definitely
wow.
in California, there's a warning, right? So we're safe.
At any rate, Orlando can't. It's not at its best when it plays in the half court on offense. Missing 1.5 of its best defenders tonight, it showed.
Yeah.
And New York looked like an Eastern Conference Finals team, at least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
You want to give your pick for Knicks Spurs?
I still think it's going to be the Knicks, but that was an impressive game. That game had a lot to it.
Yes.
Let me ask you. You were in the post-game press conference with us after the Spurs game. What do you think about Victor Wembanyama's just presence in that sort of environment? I'm extremely impressed with this guy.
You're
I've been
asking
talking
him
this all
about
night.
aura. Right
I
now,
am
by the
asking
way.
him a little bit about aura. The guy has he has a thing.
When we talk about aura or charisma,
Mhm.
that's our perception, right?
Yeah.
That comes from us.
Yeah.
He's so impressive, though. His command of English, how thoughtful
He's
is.
funny in English, which is it's hard to be funny in the second language.
That's
Hard
very
to be,
true.
Hard to be funny in the first language.
Very true. Yeah.
Well,
Although if you're working with two hosts, a host like Andrew Schlecht, and you guys had a net minus when he left the lineup and I came on. He's so impressive, but so are so many of the international players.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For whom English is their second language or maybe their third language or their fourth. It's incredible how composed they are. And for the most part, the international players are the best with the media. And a lot of us reporters wonder, why is that?
I think it's a cultural thing. I'll say
probably.
this, like
people still read books in other places.
That's what I was
think
gonna
that
say.
helps.
I'll never forget going to 18 years old, going to a house party. And I put that in quotes for those listening. Going to a house party with my cousin in Paris, and at this house party, people discussing socialism
Sure.
in America.
I've also done that in Paris.
yeah, like, and I'm like,
What's
mind
up
you,
with that healthcare?
mind
was the
you, and
question
then
I
also
got.
playing solo cups. Beer pong with not solo cups, but rather like the cups you get to like mouthwash
Oh, yeah.
at the dentist. Like that's how small the cups were. So you can imagine this game lasted
very good at beer
forever.
pong.
You know, you think you'd
Um,
have better French shooters.
I mean,
you
yeah.
know,
But-
it didn't help Michael Petrie.
Overall,
Great
it
trip.
just that was just that's the cultural language is you have to come in ready to speak about various topics.
Yeah.
If you aren't, you're looked down, you're frowned upon. And so it makes sense that they would take the time to reflect upon what they have to say and what they have to share, and knowing that reflects upon their intelligence, their grasp of something, their ability to communicate that. So it made like seeing Victor respond like that wasn't very surprising for me in general, but that's not something that I think is valued in the same way in the American culture.
Yeah.
I will say, I think there's something different to Wemby than even all the other international players that we look at. Like, of course, Jokic is not one to be out and about media-wise. Giannis is very enigmatic as a personality, but I think there's a thoughtfulness to. You got to remember, Victor Wembanyama is what, 21, 22
Yeah, he's
years
been doing
old.
this since he was like 15.
He's been doing it for a very long time. He's played professional basketball. I think there's just a level of poise to him at his age that I don't think I've seen international or otherwise. That's the part to me that's impressive.
And he lucked out. He's with the Spurs. I mean, if you're gonna, and of course, if I ran the league, there's no chance Victor Wembanyama would have wound up anywhere but San Antonio. I told Andrew Schlecht I would move back to San Antonio 9 months before the draft because I knew the Spurs were getting that pick. There's no way that wasn't happening.
So you're very entertaining. The three of you are so entertaining. But come on, you're not going to commit fraud. You would not have committed fraud.
Is it
frozen
fraud?
envelope?
I don't know if it's fraud or
To
not.
fake the
but
lottery?
I would fake everything that I'd need.
It's
to
literally
fake
a criminal offense
to make sure that he wound up in San Antonio.
Now, the most recent lottery results.
with Cooper Flag.
Yes. And then, or how about even Dylan Harper then going set?
Sure,
Of course they look suspicious, but it's just the bizarre nature of how those ping pong balls.
Coincidence?
Well, the basketball
Victor
gods,
Wembanyama,
the
Stephon
basketball gods
Castle,
speak to
Dylan
us
Harper.
through
I'm not
the NBA
Crazy
draft lottery. I'm just saying I would have a direct line to those basketball gods and do what they wanted ahead of time.
Have that line. You already have that line.
I don't know about that.
Any final thoughts, guys, on the Cup day? Because this was like a long day in the gym for us. Vibe wise, anything.
I'll say
any
this.
take?
This is the take to have. This is the final time they're doing the semifinals here in Vegas. It's going at home. Home teams will be able to play those games. I think that will be a huge advantage for the teams that actually work in the group stages and in the quarterfinals to get to point differential and get home court advantage throughout the thing. One, that's huge. Two, Vegas is still trying to figure out its NBA crowd.
This crowd actually wound up being pretty good for the second game.
The Spurs
but
fans
it
showed
been
up and it was
sick
huge.
if it was in
Yes.
Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
This would have really felt like a special game at a different
Like
level.
a playoff,
Right.
game.
Well, think about last year, we got that OKC Cavs matchup. This kind of felt like that. And we had been circling, we went through the schedule. I don't know how many times. When are the Thunder, I almost said Spurs, when are the Thunder going to lose again? And we circled the 23rd.
I did say the Spurs. I didn't say when.
That's right.
Right,
We were looking
yeah.
at the 23rd and 25th, and we luck into this game with very little buildup, but this felt like a playoff game. I mean, I think the atmosphere wound up good. Knicks Magic, it was as dead in here as it looked on TV.
Can you imagine a Knicks Spurs Cup final at MSG?
I think it would be pretty amazing.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Well, the finals always is going to still be here
I know
in
it
Vegas,
will be.
right?
Yeah,
But
but
I'm
that's
thinking-
my pitch moving forward.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking about just how much more competitive and chippy would that Knicks Magic game have gotten in Orlando, right? The Knicks on the road,
Maybe,
Sure.
yeah.
going off in the way that they were. I mean,
Mhm.
I feel like it would have been, especially considering the chippiness started
Right.
at MSG.
Yeah.
You keep it. I mean, I think next year will be really fun. to see.
Having it at home just makes more sense. And I actually wouldn't even mind the final being a home game. And there's incentive for the team, like the organization, to invest. You're going to get an extra home
Stay at
game.
home.
It's going to be a national television game, and it's the Cup. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think it's been good, but the Vegas for the final, sure. But the Saturday thing, I think is going to go, or is going to go and be better.
What's
My-
your thoughts?
Thank you. I was
Yeah,
going to interject
course.
anyway.
Yeah.
My thought is the players and the team, that makes the game.
Yes.
Mhm.
And the Oklahoma City Thunder were about to accomplish something early in the season that the basketball community has almost never seen.
Yeah.
And then Wemby, he's going to be the face of the league, and everybody in the world knows it. And he comes back. This just happens to be his first game back. It's an event because of that, not because it's here in Vegas,
Right.
not because this is
Yeah.
the NBA Cup, although I think that adds to it.
Mhm.
Let the lesson be, it's the players who make the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was electric because those guys are electric.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The way that they play, the way the Thunder are. By the way, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plays for the Thunder.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's the reigning MVP.
Yeah.
And his name hardly seems to have come up at all. Didn't even come up in the Spurs press conference, which shows just how much Wemby
is a
is
star.
on
Yeah.
everyone's mind.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fairly or
Mhm.
unfairly. But that was to see those two teams go at it. That was something else. And there are going to be many, many more matchups between those teams.
Josh, you make me think of something that is interesting. We know OKC to always be what? the humble team.
Yeah.
Always incredibly filled with humility. Oh, it was a team effort. It was a team effort. It was a team effort. What did we hear from every single person we talked to from the Spurs?
Confidence, humility.
It was a team effort.
Yeah.
They kept deferring to.
Yeah.
Mitch
Absolutely.
Johnson was asked, "What were you so proud about for Victor
Mhm.
Wembanyama? Like, what were you most proud about?" He's like, "I'm proud
of
about the team."
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Victor Wembanyama was asked the same thing. I'm just happy about the team showing up.
Mhm.
These teams are like mirrors to each other,
Mhm.
and it's so interesting that also I think adds to the electricity that they
Yeah, even
provide.
culturally.
Is that they're both
Yeah.
culturally a match.
Well,
into
so the
play.
Thunder front office was kind of birthed from the Spurs
Ah,
organization.
yeah.
Not
right?
even kind
That's
of.
a
Well,
real
yes, direct.
point.
And so
Yeah.
when when they're modeling their team, they modeled it after the Spurs.
Yeah,
Right down to the way that the media is handled. I mean, every single thing about it has been. You look at hiring Mark Dagnall, like
Mhm.
that's a
Yeah.
Spurs move.
Yeah.
Everything they've done is mirroring what has been one of the best run franchises of the last 25 years in the NBA. And I think that if you're gonna copy somebody, that's the one. Golden State's way harder to copy, right? Oh, you get Steph Curry, that changed the culture there
Yes, exactly.
completely. And
that changed
you know,
the game.
yeah. And okay, but landing on a Steph Curry,
Yeah.
it's really hard to do. But I think that what the Thunder have been able to do in copying the Spurs, I mean, you think other teams would maybe try to adopt a similar thing. I don't know.
Okay, so fascinating. Now we're going to go for another 45 minutes because look, let's just call it like it is.
Yeah.
The Spurs are who they are because they won 2 lotteries.
Mhm.
That's right.
Duncan, David Robinson,
David
that's
Robinson
right.
first,
yeah.
and now the third tremendous lottery win.
Steph Castle. No,
Yeah.
no.
Well, he's
The last
very
3 drafts.
impressive,
Yeah,
by
he
the
is.
way.
amazing.
No,
and so maybe they got the best talent of all with their third lottery win.
Yeah.
Where would they be without it?
Right.
Okay. Now, yes, all the people were in place to make the most out of
Absolutely.
the luck
Yeah.
that they had. They wouldn't have gotten as far as they went
Right.
without the smarts and
Yeah.
everything that they've instilled.
Mm.
This Oklahoma City team has built itself less through luck and more through
In a
shrewd
cave
trading
with a
and
box of
tactical
scraps.
Well,
decisions.
being
Well,
opportunistic
and also
too.
some help from Sam Presti's former
Yeah.
acolytes.
Yeah.
That's part of it, not all of it. And then, oh, look, they land Jalen Williams at number 12 because they see some qualities in Jalen Williams that the other 10, 11 teams before him,
Yep.
I don't
Yeah.
know if someone drafted twice,
Sure.
I can't remember, did not see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, oh, by the way, they were more than happy to draft Chet Holmgren when they said, oh, he's too thin and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, they recognized they had the picks, or they had the players to trade to the Clippers, and saw SGA's.
Being opportunistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, all right.
Great point.
That's going to do it for tonight. Thank you guys for listening. If you were on the live stream, that's great. Leave us a couple comments, like the video, leave us a 5-star review if you listen to this podcast somewhere. For Zena, Keita, S. Baraheni, Josh Robbins, and Andrew Schlecht, who's off camera, I'm Dave DuFour, and this has been the NBA Daily. Thanks for listening.